Hello, little friend. Welcome. Welcome to Glowling Stories. This is the place, it's where gentle stories help you relax and feel safe and just drift off into sleep. I was just wondering, have you ever felt like a tiny little seed just waiting to grow into something wonderful? Huh? Well, let's find out what that's like together. So go on, snuggle in, take a deep, slow breath, and let's let tonight's story begin. So, in a magical garden, one that was like right at the very edge of the world, this was a place where flowers would sing these soft little songs, and they'd paint rainbows in the air. Well, in that garden, there lived a gentle giant. His name was Everett. And Everett, he was so tall. I mean, taller than the tallest trees. And he had these kind eyes, the color of the summer sky, and a smile that, wow, it could light up even the cloudiest day. But even though Everett was so big, so strong, he was just the gentlest soul you could ever meet, really. So, every single morning, he'd walk through his garden, just checking on all the growing things. He'd water the roses and he'd talk to the tulips. Yeah, and he would help the little vines, help them climb up the garden walls. He'd make sure that every single plant, every one, had enough sunshine. Because Everett, he just loved his garden more than anything in the world. It made him feel peaceful and so happy. Then, one morning, as Everett was watering the daisies, he heard the tiniest little voice. It said, "Excuse me, Mr. Giant, could you help me, please?" Curious, Everett looked all around. "Hello, where are you?" "Down here, in the soil." So Everett knelt down, so very carefully, and he looked so closely at the ground. And there, just barely poking out of the dark, rich earth, was the tiniest seed sprout. It had just 2 little green leaves and the thinnest little stem you could ever imagine. "Oh my," Everett said so gently. "Hello, little one. What's your name?" "I'm Pip," the little sprout said in this small, shy voice. I just started growing a few days ago." "What wonderful," Everett said. "Welcome to the garden, Pip." But Pip didn't look very happy. No, in fact, Pip looked quite sad. "What's wrong?" Everett asked so kindly. And Pip sighed, and it was just the smallest, saddest sigh. "Look at me, Mr. Everett. I'm so tiny, so small. All the other plants in your garden are so beautiful and big, The roses have gorgeous flowers, the trees are tall and strong, the sunflowers, they reach all the way up to the sky. But me? I'm just tiny. I'll never be special like them." Oh, Everett's heart just filled with compassion. He really understood how Pip felt. "Oh, Pip," he said gently, Can I tell you a story?" Pip nodded. So Everett began, settling down right beside Pip's little spot in the soil. Many years ago," he said, "I was not always a giant. Actually, I was once very small, even smaller than you are now." "Really?" Pip asked. "Really," Everett said. "I was so small that I felt invisible. I felt like I didn't matter, and I felt like I would never, ever grow into anything special." "So what happened?" Pip asked. "Well, I learned 3 very important secrets," Everett said, "and if you'd like, I'll teach them to you." Yes, please, Pip said, perking up just a tiny bit. Okay, Everett said. The first secret is this. Growing takes time. You just can't rush it. Every single plant in this garden, every rose, every tree, every flower, it started out exactly like you. They were all tiny seeds once, but day by day, little by little, they grew, and you will too. Pip thought about this for a moment. But how long will it take? As long as it needs to, Everett said so kindly. And that's okay, really. There's no race, there's no rush. You'll grow at exactly the right speed for you. Pip felt a little better, but still a little worried. But what if I don't grow into something beautiful? What if I'm just ordinary? Everett smiled. Ah, well, that brings me to the second secret. You are already special, right now, exactly as you are. You don't have to wait until you're fully grown to matter. You matter right now. I do? Pip asked so quietly. Of course you do, Everett said. Look, even though you're tiny, you're already doing something amazing. Your little leaves, they're turning sunlight into energy, and your roots are making the soil healthier. You're breathing out oxygen for all of us to breathe. You're already making the world better, Pip. You are already important. Pip had never, ever thought of it that way. In wonder, I never knew I was doing all that. You are, Everett said warmly. Just by being you, just by growing, you're making the world more beautiful. A warm, happy feeling started to grow in Pip's little stem. And the third secret, Everett continued, well, this one is the most important one. You don't grow alone. You have help. You have the sunshine and the rain and the rich soil. And you have friends, like me, who will watch over you and cheer you on. Really? Pip asked. You'll be my friend? I already am your friend, Everett said, and I'll be here every single day, making sure you have everything you need to grow strong and healthy. Pip felt something shift inside. That sad, small feeling, it was just melting away, and it was being replaced by something warm and bright. You know, it was hope. Thank you, Mr. Everett, Pip said softly. I think I can be patient now. I think I can keep growing, even if it takes a long time. That's the spirit, Everett said, and I'll tell you a little secret. I'm still growing too. You are? Pip said, but you're already so big. Well, I'm not growing bigger anymore, that's true, but I'm growing kinder. I'm growing wiser. I'm growing more patient. Growing never really stops, Pip. We're all always learning and becoming better versions of ourselves. From that day on, Everett checked on Pip every single morning. He would water Pip's soil, and he'd tell these wonderful, encouraging stories. He would make sure Pip had just enough sunlight, and he would protect Pip from any harsh winds. And slowly, so slowly, day by day, week by week, Pip began to grow. First, Pip's stem grew a little taller, then a few more leaves appeared, then the stem grew thicker and stronger. Excitedly, Pip would say, "Look, Mr. Everett, I grew a new leaf." "You did," Everett would reply. "You're doing wonderfully." Now, sometimes Pip would have hard days. You know, sometimes the rain would be a bit too heavy, or the sun too hot, or Pip would just feel tired. "It's okay to have hard days," Everett would say, ever so gently. "Growing isn't always easy, but you're strong and you are doing your best, and that's all anyone can ever ask. And then, after many, many weeks of patient growing, something truly magical happened. One morning, Everett came to check on Pip, and he gasped with delight, because there, at the very top of Pip's stem, was a tiny bud, the beginning of a flower. "Pip!" Everett exclaimed, "you're about to bloom!" Over the next few days, the bud grew bigger and bigger, and then one beautiful morning it opened, and Pip, oh Pip, had grown into the most stunning flower Everett had ever seen. Its petals were this gorgeous swirl of purple, pink, and gold, and it just sparkled in the sunlight. And from that day on, Pip and Everett were the very best of friends. Pip would tell stories to all the new seeds that sprouted, teaching them the 3 secrets: that growing takes time, that you're special right now, and that you never, ever grow alone. And every evening as the sun set over that magical garden, Everett and Pip would sit together, just grateful. Grateful for the journey of growing and for the friendship they had found along the way. And now, my dear little one, just like Pip, you are growing every single day. Sometimes you can't see it, but oh, it's happening. You're growing bigger, yes, but you're also growing braver and kinder and more wonderful. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you and keep growing at your very own pace. And please remember, you are special right now, exactly as you are. You don't have to wait to matter. You already do. So, sleep now, little seed. Dream of all the beautiful things you're growing into. Sweet dreams. Good night. And for more glowing stories, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.